We saw nominees take a bow and exit the stage. Some asked probing questions, and one nominee was overcome with emotions mid-presentation. All this in the last 3 days of the ministerial screening in the Senate.
Mr. Nominee, sir.
President Bola Tinubu's spokesman, Mr. Dele Alake, opens Wednesday's screening exercise. He's asked pointed questions on protecting the freedom of the press and regulating the social media.
The social media has two sides. There is a positive side, there is a negative side. The downside is so detrimental to good and decent society. So I will recommend a strengthening of our regulations and application of those regulations.
The minority leader also quizzes him about a remark he made during the presidential campaigns to the displeasure of the majority leader.
I read a statement where you label supporters of a particular presidential candidate as wild dogs, buying blood on social media. Have you come across that statement? Are you aware of it?
The minority leader was raising questions that bordered on campaign. This had happened several months ago. And if we are here as senators of the Federal Republic of Nigeria screening ministerial nominees, we are not supposed to bring in issues that had come and gone.
Next up is Mr. Lateef Fagbemi, who speaks passionately and exhaustively on the judiciary, the rule of law, as well as noted eyebrow-raising practices by some anti-corruption agencies.
If I have my way, I will advise the president to unbundle. First of all, bring ICPC and EFCC together, unbundle them. Investigation should not be handled by the same body. There must be a supervisory authority within the same system. If there is investigation, it is another body. Prosecution is another body. It doesn't augur well to ask the same authority to, do investigation, come and do prosecution. That is why we have problems.
Medical expert Dr. Ali Pate is also before the Senate, and the questions center on vaccine independence, wealth of medical workers, and resources for the health sector. Another nominee, Dr. Doris Uzoka, answered questions on the business and investment environment.
We need to look at the conditions of service, the circumstances, the compensation, and in a way, re-energize the sector around the mission, because no one joins the health sector who is not committed to serving his or her patients.
If we improve the land reform of each state, because the businesses are within the states, the economy of this country is within the states, and that's the responsibility of the state governors. There should be a deliberate attempt to improve land reform, and most especially automate the process of owning land, owning property, landed properties, and using it for businesses.
For the second time, the President's Chief of Staff arrives the Senate chamber with a second batch of nominees. The list contains 19 names. Prominent on the list are 5 former governors: Adeboyega Oyetola, Atiku Bagudu, Bello Matawale, Ibrahim Gaidam, and Simon Lalong. Some former lawmakers also made the cut, namely Senators Aliyu Abdullahi, Heineken Lupubiri, as well as Representatives Zephaniah Jisalo and Dr. Yusuf Tanko Sununu. The new nominees are expected to proceed for documentation immediately, while the screening will resume on Friday, August 4th, 2023. Linda Kibe, Channels Television News.